So let's try this again. Obviously yesterday or this morning, however you want to look at it, I tried to do this video, and YouTube kicked me off for whatever reason. So let's try this again. Now, still talking about Darrell Brooks. Now he has had a lot of social media where he has talked about hate. He has talked about violence against white people, support for Hitler, and yet there's still nothing being said about it, alright? So, everybody's talking about, Ahmaud Arbery case, which I will get to in a minute. But this to me is kind of disturbing, alright? So, like I said, his Facebook account talks about violence against white people and support for Hitler, but nobody's talking about that, alright? Now, it's even come out and said that he was zigzagging around inside to hit as many people as he could. The police chief came out that same night and said that. But ABC News came out and said that he was fleeing another crime scene. Alright, so even if he was fleeing another crime scene, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's say that he was, alright, which he wasn't, which I said that from the start. But even if he was, there were barriers set up in place for you to stop, alright? You could have went another direction. You could have just gave up like normal people do, not run, alright? Now, some of the things that he has said in his Facebook, alright? So, some of his things contain memes and messages calling for violence against white people, as well as suggesting Hitler was right for killing Jews during the Holocaust. Now, his typing is horrible, alright? So, I'm going to read this the best I can, but his words are just all over the place, alright? Now, this is from June 9th of 2020. Alright, it says, learned and taught behavior. So, when we start back knocking white people the F out, I don't want to hear it. The old white people, too. Knock them the F out, period. Brooks wrote on Facebook on June 9th, 2020. Now, he also put behind that a middle finger emoji. Let's see, the account has since been deleted. He used the name MathBoyFly, which is an alias Brooks used as a stage name for his amateur rap career, which is now done. He has also shared a meme titled Hitler Knew Who the Real Jews Were. Message claimed that Adolf Hitler had warned that his genocide was partially prompted because he knew the Negroes are true Hebrews, appearing to promote the views of the black Hebrew Israelites. The post added that Americans had moved false white Jews into the state of Israel and that World War III would unfold when people learned Hitler was right and did the world by favor by killing the Jews. So obviously this person, he is obviously racist. But he also is not fully there, right? Now, he goes on to comment on that. Brooks commented on the meme real game right here, which was accompanied by the hashtag research. So his claims about Hitler have been previously debunked. Also on June 9th in 2020, he shared an ESPN article about NBA player Kyle Kuzma. If I'm saying that wrong, let me know. Explaining his belief on what white privilege is, Brooks has commented on the piece. Interesting. That same month, he shared a post about a white police officer being violent towards peaceful protesters. Another post showed support for Black Lives Matter, which I was trying to talk about last night before YouTube kicked me off. But again, he not only does he show support for Black Lives Matter, he also shows support for black militia groups and, Black Lives Matter and everybody else that's out there participating and burning down buildings, shooting innocent people, and killing cops doing their jobs, right? Which I was trying to say last night right before I got kicked off. Now, more recent posts also showed the Facebook account weighing in on the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict last Friday, saying he wasn't surprised one bit. Let's see here if he says anything else. Oh, let's see. Okay, yeah, there's, hey Kayla, how you doing? So there's, see, this says there's nothing else which, they can find anyways at this point that shows any more racist stuff. But, you know, this is just crazy, alright? And another thing that I find, surprising is Joe Biden. Well, actually, it's not surprising, but the fact that he actually comes out in public and says stuff like this is even more problematic, alright? So, Joe Biden came out, when Kyle Rittenhouse was convicted, or before he was even in court, he called him a white supremacist and all this. What happened to innocent proven till proven guilty, alright? So he came out. Now since Kyle Rittenhouse has been acquitted of all charges, Joe Biden says, you know, I understand if y'all are upset and angry about this. Like you just said, you wanted people to peacefully protest. You didn't want no destruction or violence or anything, but yet you come out and say stuff like that. That's going to make people go out and, you know, burn down buildings. These people already don't have a reason to do it. But now you're just giving them even more reason to do it. Oh, the president of the United States said we have a right to be angry and mad, so we went down and burned down this building and shot this white guy because, you know, why not? Because Joe Biden said he's a white supremacist even though he shot 3 white people in self-defense. Alright, but Joe Biden comes out today on the Ahmaud Arbery trial and, let's see here, and said, well, if I can find it. Let's see here. Anyways, he said he was, you know, he supported that decision and, it needed to be, oh, here we go. Biden praises verdict after 3 men were found guilty in murdering Ahmaud Arbery. President Biden praised the jury's guilty verdict in the trial for Ahmaud Arbery's killer on Wednesday, but called the case a devastating reminder of how far we have to go for the fight for racial justice in this country. Alright. Now, I'm not going to read everything he said because, you know, when he talks, he goes on and talk. So let's just go see if there's anything else here. Mr. Arbery should be here celebrating the holiday with his mother, Wanda Cooper, Jones, and his father, Marcus Arbery. Nothing can bring Mr. Arbery back to his family, to his community, but the verdict ensures that those who committed this horrible crime will be punished. While the guilty verdict reflects our justice system doing its job, that alone is not enough. Instead, we must recommit ourselves to building a future of unity and shared strength where no one fears violence because of the color of their skin. Okay, so why can't you apply that to the Kyle Rittenhouse case? It's no different. You automatically call Kyle Rittenhouse a white supremacist when he was white before he even got to court, before he even got a chance to speak what he had to say in the courtroom. You called him a white supremacist, but he shot 3 white people. And people are still, they don't understand that. They still don't understand the fact that Kyle Rittenhouse shot white people, alright? There was a black man who kicked him in the head. He could have shot him, but he didn't. He shot 3 white people in self-defense, alright? Now, White House still, they stand by the push to end cash bail, alright? In the wake of the Wakasha, again, if I'm saying it wrong, correct me, they still want to end cash bail, alright? White House is standing by its push to end cash bail, saying the decision to hold defendants should be based on the threat they pose to society, not their ability to pay bail. Okay. So, usually, this is how it works, alright? Usually, if you're in jail, alright, and whatever crime you commit is going to be the higher the bail, alright? So, you know, if you commit murder, you shouldn't have a bail. You know, if you are trespassing, you're probably going to get a bail, alright? You might even get a PR bond on that. But if you're in there for murder, your bail is going to be very high if you get one, alright? So, for him to say that, that proves he knows nothing about what he's talking about. Hey, Miss Hancock. Yeah, I've read that too. So again, you want it in cash bail, but because you say the decision to hold a defendant should be based on the threat they pose to society, not the ability to pay bail. I mean, that whole comment contradicts itself, alright? Again, if you're in there for murder, you shouldn't even get a bail, alright? The higher the crime, the more your bail is going to be. That's how it works in America, Joe Biden, alright? Because obviously, if you're in there for murder, you're going to pose a bigger threat than someone who was, recklessly driving down the street, alright? Now, this person here, he has 5 intentional homicides, alright? 5. He's facing 5 of those, and like I said, it might go up to 6 because that child died yesterday. So 6, alright? So the judge pretty much said, hey, here's $1 million bond for each of the lives that you took. It was $5 million. So you just put a price on their lives. Innocent people now who were killed because of him, alright? Not to mention the fact that he was a child predator who was already convicted of that, released. Not to mention the fact that he assaulted an officer who was released on that. Not the fact that he has all kind of hate speech on his social media. Nothing was brought of that. Not to mention the fact that he ran over the mother of his child, released on that on bail. Not to mention the fact that, not even a week later, I believe it was 5 or 6 days later, or before this, excuse me, he was released on $1,000 bail. He also had a gun charge, I believe, and a bunch of misdemeanor stuff that they didn't even mention. And a DA has come out and said, hey, he shouldn't have been released. Yeah, obviously he shouldn't have been released. And the DA came out and said, hey, we take responsibility for this. It falls back on us. It does fall back on y'all. But y'all are still doing nothing to stop it. Alright? So if you really wanted to stop it, you would not give him a bail. Why is he getting a bail? He already has a long rap sheet. And like I said, some of the charges he already got should have never been out to begin with. Sexual predator, alright? He ran over the child of the mother of his child. Those 2 charges right there alone should be enough to keep you in there. But again, you also have gun charges. You have assault on a police officer. So, I mean, again, these charges are not just like simple charges where you go in and you do it. Yeah, a lot of people in the community were saying, that that should not even been happened, alright? Yeah, it makes no sense whatsoever. Alright, but this 8-year-old boy never got to live his life, but yet he gets a bail, alright? Now, everybody was talking about, him crying in court, alright? I don't want to hear that because when Kyle Rittenhouse was crying in court, nobody wanted to talk about that. Everybody's like, oh, it's fake. LeBron James came out and say it's fake. This person crying, oh, well, he's remorse and all that. No, that's bullcrap. No, he's not. Because if he really felt remorse, he would have deleted all this. He would not be posting racist stuff on Facebook, number 1. Number 2, he would not be having all these charges. He would have got help or whatever he needs to do. He would not be doing this. So, him crying is a lot different than Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle Rittenhouse had a right to defend himself, and now he's being labeled all as a white supremacist and everything else when he had the right to defend himself. And he did. Now, everybody's trying to compare the two, and you can't. Alright? This man here is a racist. It's clear, it's shown. Kyle Rittenhouse had the right to defend himself. Now, a lot of people are also talking about what Kyle Rittenhouse said. He said he supports peaceful protest, and BLM and all that. Whether he does or not, alright, it still doesn't change the fact that, he had a right to defend himself. Everybody's talking about, oh, well, all the conservatives are mad now. No conservative that I know, I've never seen anybody say they don't support Kyle Rittenhouse now. Because he said that. I haven't seen anybody post that on their page. Anybody I know I haven't seen them say that, so I don't know where that's coming from. You know, I've never seen anybody say that since that he's come out and said that. But again, this person here, Darrell Brooks, is he's a disgrace to America. Now, there are people in America that want to start a race war, right? Whites and blacks. And if you think that it's one-sided, then you are also part of the problem. Alright, it's white people and black people that want to start a race war, right? There are people like Dylan Roof on that are white, and there's people that like Darrell Brooks that are black. It's on both sides, no matter how you look at it. Now, obviously, both these people are in jail. You know, Dylan Roof, in my personal opinion, should be executed. He killed innocent black people that allowed them into his church, or into their church. They allowed him to sit in their church, and he just decided to gun them down because he wanted to start a race war. Yeah, they allowed you in, and he allowed one person to live just so he could tell the story. This person here has racist messaging all over his Facebook talking about killing white people, knocking them back into place, knocking them down, killing them. And then what does he do? He goes and runs over a bunch of people. 53 people to be exact were run over. 6 killed, including 3 children. So, and he should be executed. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You can put them up there at the same time and execute them both at the same time. I really don't care how you do it, but they should be executed. Simple as that. Now, like I said, I started talking about Ahmaud Arbery for a minute. Now, I'm going to be honest, I haven't even followed this case, just because I haven't had time. Now, let's see here. Now, I'm going to go through the charges of each of them, because not all of them got charged the same way. Like I said, I already talked about Biden. Ben Crump was out there cheering. Alright, so jurors found Travis McMichael guilty of malice murder, 4 counts of felony murder, 2 counts of aggravated assault, false imprisonment, and criminal attempt to commit a felony. Jury also found Greg McMichael guilty of 4 counts of felony murder, 2 counts of aggravated assault, false imprisonment, and criminal attempt to commit a felony. Juries found him not guilty of malice murder, but guilty on everything else. The jury found the McMichaels' neighbor William Roddy Bryan guilty of felony murder and aggravated assault, but not guilty on everything else. So, they are all facing the death penalty in Georgia just because of Georgia law. Again, not all states do death penalties. I know South Carolina, Georgia, and Texas do it. I'm not sure about Florida. I think Florida does, but I know South Carolina, Georgia, and Texas do the death penalty. So, in my personal opinion, do I think they will face the death penalty? Again, I didn't watch the trial, so I'm not going to talk about it. Again, if I knew more about it, I would talk more about it, but I don't. But just based off what I know, do I think they will face the death penalty? I think they will face it. But everybody who has been on death row just sits there and sits there and sits there and sits there and sits there because their attorneys tried to appeal it. And then it takes forever. Most states now don't even carry the lethal injection. They're trying to find other ways to do it, such as firing squads or... So, we'll see how it goes. But, I mean, look at Dylan Roof as a prime example. He's been sitting there for years, and nothing's happened. He's still sitting on death row. So, we'll see what happens with that. And, you know, I just don't think they'll have enough time in their life to reach it. Now, it says a lot of businesses there have boarded up for the night, have closed. Now, we'll see what happens. Black Lives Matter came out and said that, you know, if they don't get the charges they want, then, you know, nobody's going to be able to sleep tonight. City's going to be in chaos. So, hopefully, you know, that doesn't happen. But they will riot even if they all got convicted and hung out in front of everybody today. If these 3 white people came out, got hung today in front of everybody, they'd probably still destroy the city. So we'll see. Honestly, I was expecting a lot more with Cal Rittenhouse. I was expecting the city there in Kenosha to be destroyed, a place like Chicago. But again, most of the people there acted accordingly. I'm sure most of the people there were on Kyle Rittenhouse's side, supported him. Again, there were a couple little fights. Again, Chicago had their GameStop robbed, their Louis Vuitton store was robbed. Portland didn't have a riot, but again, Portland has had riots for the past, 2 years now? Going on 2 years, 3 years. So that Portland just needs to be its own little state. Police are leaving, citizens are leaving. Y'all stay there, have your riots. Y'all are just irrelevant now. Alright. So protesters were outside when this happened. But again, I don't think they're gonna actually end up getting killed in jail. They'll probably be in cells by themselves. Just for what they call protection reasons, just like Derek Chauvin has had his cell by himself. He is in confinement. I'm sure Darrell Brooks is in confinement. Well, people on death row automatically have that. Countless others I could rename. I'm sure Darrell Brooks will probably have a cell to himself if he's not released again. Just because of what has happened. Again, it doesn't take long for word to spread. Now, a lot of protesters there have already came out and said, keep marching. Keep marching. Like, you got with charges that y'all wanted. Alright, they're going to jail for the rest of their life. They're going to die in jail. If they don't die by the court system. So, again, y'all got what y'all wanted, alright? But again, back to Darrell Brooks. I want people to talk about this, alright? We're past Cal Rittenhouse. We're past Derek Chauvin, alright? We're past Ahmaud Arbery now. So can somebody please talk about Darrell Brooks, alright? Because the only people I've seen talk about it is, at least on YouTube, are me, ABL, Brandon Tatum, and that's it. 3 people. Now, I'm sure there's a lot more people, but that's the only people I've seen talk about it is 3 people. So, all these people that, were covering the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, covering the Ahmaud Arbery trial, can we talk about Darrell Brooks now? Why is nobody talking about him? Like, I just don't get why nobody's talking about this. And everybody's trying to brush it over the rug now, because if y'all remember, this was all over the news until they found out who he was. I mean, everybody was getting, thousands of views on it. Everybody's like, oh my God, praying for the families, praying for this, But when there was a mass shooting, everybody's like, oh my God, is he white, is he black, what kind of gun was used? None of that matters, alright? So when this happened, everybody's like, oh my God, praying, alright? But, now that he's black, nobody's talking about it. As a matter of fact, just to prove a point, so I posted this in a group, one of these groups I'm in. If this is still up, which I highly doubt it, or this person might just deleted her post, but she got mad at me because I posted this. Alright, okay, so it's still there. Alright, so I don't know if y'all can actually see this or not. Alright, so I posted what happened in a group. Alright, so I posted a picture of a screenshot of it and I put praying, alright? So this person here, I'm not going to put her full name out there just because. Now her name, I'm just going to call her Robin, alright? So she said praying for what, alright? I said, how about the 48 injured and the 6 dead, including 3 children? She said, what will praying do? I said it's doing more than you are doing, and she hasn't responded back to that. Let's see. I don't know if that's going to show up for y'all or not. Yeah, I don't think that's going to show up. Anyways, so me being me, I went to her page just to see what she was about, alright? So, her first picture is her wearing a mask saying, "We can do this on this side, let's get vaccinated," and then Black Lives Matter is her first picture. Alright? Second picture, I'm vaccinated, why aren't you, you stupid effing F. Third picture, Black Lives Matter. Fourth, fifth, nothing. Sixth picture, nothing. Seventh picture, Black Lives Matter. And a trans flag. Let's see here. Don't even know what that means. Bring back MST3K. I don't even know what that means. Alright. Then she goes on. Let's see. Black flag. Dismantle white supremacy. Going on about the Bible, saying it's fake. Let's see here. Justice for George Floyd. Yeah, so, Nazi Trump supporters. Let's see. So, yeah, okay. Well, I guess that's all of it. So, obviously you can tell what she's about. But again, these people have lost it, alright? What they preach to us about Cal Rittenhouse, they won't apply this to this guy. Well, he was oppressed, and you know, he had a hard life, and okay, a lot of people have hard lives. That doesn't mean they go out there and run over, you know, 50-something people and run over the child of their mother and assault police officers and become child predators and everything else. You know, most of these people try to find a normal way to live their lives, not destroy communities and families and kill people. But again, this person is an obvious racist. I'm sure nothing will happen. He'll probably be out again. But again, this needs to be looked into. Alright? This is what the government wants. They want this. They want people like Darrell Brooks on the black side to stir stuff up like this. They want people on white people's side like Dylan Roof to stir stuff up. Because eventually, you know, this will happen. People are going to turn on each other even more than they already are. People think it's bad now, but what people fail to realize is stuff like this is going to continue to happen. And stuff like this will continue to get worse, alright? Because people like Darrell Brooks on the right side, on the black side, think about it. People on Black Lives Matter. What do you think they are about? They think like he does, alright? They're out there burning down buildings, shooting at cops, burning down cop cars, shooting at random people. They think like he does, alright? But again, also, there are white people that think like Dylan Roof. You know, all black people are horrible, we need to gun them down in the streets. Alright? And then you got people in the middle, like me, y'all, who are just, well, y'all are racist on both sides. Y'all hate everybody. No, most people that think like us just want peace, and they want to live their lives the way they need to live them and go on about their lives, and when the time comes, the time comes. Most people do not want all this violence in America. They don't want racial, you know, on both sides. They just want everybody to come together, live their lives until it's time to go. Simple as that. But again, when you have district attorneys setting bail for people like this, and then you got people just sitting on death row after they murder people trying to start race wars, this is a serious problem. But again, he should have been arrested for hate crimes on his Facebook page, right? Shouldn't Darrell Brooks been arrested for that? Because that's all hate crimes. BKR, you know, he has a bail set, alright, of $5 million. And he's been out on every single charge that he's had, alright? So he's been out on running over the child of his mother. He was out on bail for that. He was out on child sexual charges. He was out on a gun charge. He was out on assaulting a police officer. He was just out on a $1,000 bond 5 or 6 days before this happened, and now he gets a $5 million bond for killing 6 people and injuring 48 more. I'm not sure what you mean. Who are they? Um, I'm not sure what you mean. But yeah, I'm sure he'll be out. I mean, there will probably be people that will raise money for him and get him out. It really wouldn't surprise me if he didn't get out. Now, he has until January 14th to get that money up somehow. So, what's today? The 24th. So, he's got just under 2 months to get the money up somehow to get out. Now, I will say, if he gets out, that's going to be a problem for a lot of people if he actually gets out. I mean, that's going to be a serious problem. If he gets out somehow and somebody raises money for that, that's going to be a serious problem in our justice system. I'm sorry. And everybody's talking about, well, Kyle Rittenhouse had a $2 million bond. Okay, Kyle Rittenhouse also defended himself. So, there's a big difference there. Kyle Rittenhouse defends himself. He had to go through trial, court, all this. He shouldn't even have to. Alright? This person here is an obvious racist, has a whole rap sheet full of charges, and yet he still gets a bond somehow. I don't get it. I really don't. But again, that's all I got for this live stream. I mean, BKR is possible. I mean, like I said, he got a $5 million bond, so we don't know who he knows. We don't know what kind of business he's in. We don't know what he does for a living. So yeah, it's possible. It is very possible. Like I said, this is all I got for this live stream. Y'all have a happy Thanksgiving. Like I said, I doubt I'll do another video before then, unless something crazy happens. You know, y'all have a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your time off. I'm sure most of y'all are off work, so enjoy your time off. Enjoy the day with the family. Until then, y'all stay safe, and thank y'all for watching.